report in from the field, and not surprisingly, it was from an unchallenged race. We're going over now to the city of Englewood, where Sherry Carabin has an interview with Councilman Michael Wiles, who was running unopposed.
Joanne, Englewood's 2nd Ward District is the largest, with just under 10,000 people being represented. Councilman Michael Wiles has been running for re-election. He's served the ward for the past 3 years. Initially, he had a Republican opponent, Norman Gorlin, but several weeks ago, Gorlin dropped out of the race, making it an unopposed race. I'm here now with Michael Wiles at his home, who's having a party to celebrate his victory, although it has turned out to be an uncontested victory. Mr. Wiles, how are you feeling tonight?
Very well, Sherry. Thank you so much for coming here, and I thank my wife and my family and friends for joining us. We're certainly living through some very difficult and trying times, and the fact that so many people would come out and my opponent would pull out from the race is tremendous. I have to tell you that I'm honored again to carry this job for another 3 years, to actually represent the interests of the 2nd Ward and take decisions on this wonderful, beautiful city.
Well, what kind of things are you going to look to do over the next 3 years?
Well, we've looked at expanding our tax base. We're looking at bringing ratables to our community. We're looking to make sure that we ensure the residential character of our environs and that we do what we need to do for little guys like this to make sure that the city is going to be as beautiful as we left it. The fact is, with terrorists in New York, but 10, 15 nautical miles away, and with our own communities trying to assess their vulnerabilities, no more time is there in importance for local government, and no time is there more importance on making sure that we do whatever it takes to do the right thing.
Now, you talked about tax revenues. Obviously, you were the only one to break with Englewood's redevelopment project, the $500 million redevelopment project, and you think this is wrong for Englewood, so you won't be looking for tax revenue to come from this.
I think it's a balance. You have to decide what is important. What vision do you have for the community that you're living and representing? Do you want to have a community that will bring dollars but would not be a livable place for children to grow up in? Do you want to maintain that residential character? And ultimately, whether or not it does match or comport with what the founding fathers and mothers had in mind years ago when this Northern Valley corridor was set up. These are decisions that I think are important to make, but should only be made with open public exposure, with more sunshine, if you would, with more public input and debate. And I was concerned with the propriety of the whole project. There was money to be made, but there was very little public debate to be had.
Okay, where do you see this project going? Right now it's kind of dead in the water. What do you see happening with it?
I'm also an EMT. I see a pulse has been resuscitated and they're working vigorously to bring the patient back. I'm happy once the doctors have a chance to look at it and we all can look at it once more and see whether or not it comports to what we have as a vision for our children and for this community. I hope that, again, people will have more public input and that the process will be open. And again, I'm looking with an open mind, as I did before, to make sure that if it is an inviting project, that we welcome it.
All right, now my final question is, after you serve out your 3 years, what aspirations do you have for your future?
Well, I don't want to be Uncle Daddy. I want to be a father. I want to be a wonderful husband, because God knows that there's nothing future in any professional pursuit or political agenda unless you have your home base secure. So right now, I'm very happy with my council race. I'm flattered that when I do have fundraisers and I do have events like this, the community comes out and supports. I think it's a sign of the times that people are looking for others to get involved in the process and want to be involved in it themselves. As opportunities avail themselves, we'll then decide. But thank you.
Okay, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, back to you in the studio, Joanne.
Thank you very much, Sherry.